Hello! I am sitting back here in my beautiful little flower garden corner of the backyard, and I wanted to share a few of my new purchases of late in the stone world. So, sitting down here, I've got several new purchases. Most of them came from yesterday when we were at the Ginkgo Petrified Forest State Park, and there is a gem shop right next to it, and it is one of my favorite places to look for things. The prices are amazing. There's always treasures. I always find things, but that's true for any gem shop, isn't it? For us gem lovers. So, anyway, let's see. The things I knew I for sure were wanting, and I just dawned on me that one of my big purchases is not sitting here. Okay, so I'm going to continue while my husband, who is just lovely, got the hint and went to go get it. So one of my things that I've been really wanting for several months now are just plain howlite. And the howlite came to me actually in a dream. I hadn't ever really heard of it and saw it in a dream until I went going through pictures and pictures of things online and in books. Finally realized what it was. And then it was hard to find it because howlite is commonly dyed to make fake turquoise and other things, and finding it in its pure form, I guess, isn't that difficult, but for me it was for several months. But yesterday I found two perfect pieces, and I'm going to attempt to hold them up here so I can't see what I'm doing. That's one, and then here's another. I think these are called catacons. I might be wrong about that, but the shape, the way they've been cut and polished. And I got two of them because I wanted to be able to hold them in my hands while I meditated, and so that was, I just wanted the semi-even weight. And last night I slept with these guys, and I just slept so nice, and it was just lovely. And thank you, honey. And so I'm really looking forward to spending more time meditating with these guys. The energy that I felt off them immediately, I felt like, yes, absolutely, this is something I need to work with. And they're just, it's sad that people think they need to put color into these to make them nice, because they're gorgeous the way they are. So simple, remind me a little bit of marble, the way the gray kind of runs through the white. So, and are those showing up in there? Are we? Yeah, coming in a little closer. Yay! I'm getting a thumbs up. All right. So those are two of the pieces that I was like hoping I would find. And then what caught my eye immediately yesterday was this beautiful piece of cobalt calcite. Let's just go with that. It's cobaltoin, I think. Calcite. It's got a few different names. And let's see if we can catch the sun sparkling off of it. Now, it's just a thin layer of the crystals on the, I don't know if it's considered the matrix or what in this particular case, but I mean, it's just this glorious, glorious, bright pink color, and it's so cheerful. And I've seen these before. I've seen really large chunks of them that I couldn't really afford at the time. But this one was right within my price range for what I had budgeted yesterday, and I just fell in love with it instantly. So it was an absolute, and you can just see it sparkling in the sunlight. Really looking forward to just letting this ooze into the atmosphere in my house, and sitting with it and seeing what it's going to have to tell me. I love how they will tell you something about themselves and how to work with them if you just sit and meditate with them, and I just love that about stones. And I'm supposed to tilt it again. And then I'm supposed to go like this. See, I have, behind the camera I have my husband, and he's giving me little directions. So this is awesome to have help back there so you actually know if it's in focus. So I just want everyone to enjoy the glimmer of this pink loveliness. Okay, so that was one of the absolutes from yesterday, and the howlite. And then I was looking at some lepidolite, which I've never touched it before until yesterday, and there was a whole box of lepidolite. And some of them were really pure colored purples or pure colored pinks, and I was just not feeling anything from them, and I thought, oh, maybe just lepidolite isn't right for me. And then I saw this one that had mostly black in it, with just a little bit of a pinkish purple tone. And immediately I picked it up and I felt stuff. So I do not know what the black mineral is in this particular stone with the lepidolite. I am going to have to do some research, and hopefully somebody is going to be able to help me figure that out. But whatever it is, the blend in this was perfect for me. And that's what's really great, is that some people, they love their stones just absolutely pure. I find that a lot of the times, a lot of my stones have other minerals mixed in. They're really mixed up and kind of eclectic like I am, and maybe that's why I like stones like that so much. But this guy is just, the black part sparkles. It reminds me a little of how a really good piece of black tourmaline will shimmer with the more silver light coming out of it, a little silver part, but I have no idea what for sure that mineral is. And then we just have kind of the pale pink of the lepidolite in it. And I've been playing with this one today. It's a great little palm stone. Feels nice in the hand. My cats were enjoying being petted with it, so that was a nice thing too. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about this one as well. There's that. And then, this was a real surprise. My husband was going through a bin of dollar stones, and he picked this up, and at first, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, is that onyx? And he handed it to me, and I immediately wanted this stone. I actually asked him, did you want this? And he's like, oh no, that's fine. So he handed it over to me, and I noticed though that there was a little bit of light that went through it, but it's really hard to see unless you have some backlight. You can see through this with the right lighting. It is just really dark, and I still wasn't sure what it was until I showed it to the guy, and he told me that, put it over the white light, or the fluorescent light, and he told me that it was Apache's tear. And as soon as I saw it over the fluorescent light, I was like, oh yeah, that obviously is. It's just so incredibly dark. And I didn't have any Apache's tear. So this was my first piece of Apache's tear, and it's just, I mean, it shimmers. There, actually, just now in the sun, I saw a little bit come through right in here where you could see through, but I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera. I'm getting a no. But so it just looks like a nice shiny black stone, but if you get the right light, you can see through it. But it's very light because it's an obsidian, and it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm enjoying the feel of it just now. Actually, in the sun, the energies feel good together, the sun and the stone. I'll have to remember that. So that was, oh, this wasn't supposed to be in the dollar bin. He thinks his daughter, the owner thinks his daughter might have just tossed some extra stones in there. So this was really lucky because he let me go ahead and have it for that. So I got this piece of Apache's tear for $1. That was pretty nice. Okay, so then I was trying to make that everything I got. But early on, I had gone into the back in this big open area where they have huge chunks of obsidian of various sorts, and the geodes that you can crack open. And I had gone back and I had seen this piece of snowflake obsidian, and it was huge, and I just immediately felt drawn to it. But I was like, I don't need a large stone because I'm trying to keep things downsized as we are going to be moving into much smaller places more and more and more as we continue to downsize with our tinier living process that we're working on. So I was like, no big stones. Well, I was standing there, I was about to pay, and I'm like, no, hold on. And I had to run back outside and get this piece of snowflake obsidian because there was no way I could sleep without it. It was literally screaming at me from outside. So I actually slept with snowflake obsidian the night before this trip. So I don't know if there's just something big about snowflake obsidian in me right now, but this is the piece of snowflake obsidian that I picked up. And in it, whoa, can I up? Yay! In it you can actually see a face, and it's a smiling face Am I pointing to the eyes and maybe a mouth right in there? And it's just, it has a what I call stone people. I think of it as being able to see the spirits of the stone coming out, and this was just the most beautiful. And it's a 2-pound piece of snowflake obsidian, and you can see some other rock and mineral on the back side of it is sticking up. And then the back. So it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I guess I get to find out why it absolutely had to come home with me. So there I have this giant piece. Now at least I didn't end up getting the piece, well, it wasn't really for sale, but they had a piece of snowflake obsidian that was cut into a sphere, and it was about this big around. And he said that the original piece of snowflake obsidian was 300 pounds to get it to be able to cut a sphere that size, and I've never seen a piece of obsidian quite that big. I was pretty impressed. Thankfully it was way over there and it wasn't for sale. So those are what I got yesterday at the gem shop near Ginkgo Petrified State Park. And then last weekend I picked up one stone. I was such a good girl. When we went to one of my favorite little plant shops here in Seattle, Midnight Blossom. I'm trying to read lips. Midnight Blossom. And they have stones in there too, because they put different kinds of containers together and they have stones that you can put in. But I found that it's a great place actually just to pick up small stones. I found some really great things there, and they had this one piece of labradorite. Now let's go if we can get the shimmers, because the labradorite shimmers were amazing in this piece. Maybe tilting. See it? He's not seeing it. So I don't know if they're going to come up in the sunlight, but they might. That's one of the things I love about labradorite, is that it shimmers with all these different lights and colors below it. It seems like it's below the surface, and then it just suddenly pops out and appears like fire underneath, or lightning underneath, or like the colors of the universe, those pictures of the universe you see. So, nice piece of labradorite. And another thing about labradorite was that yesterday the man at the gem shop he showed me a special piece of labradorite, and it was a chunk about yay big, but it had a purple in it, and he had never seen purple, and I know I've never seen pure royal purple in the shimmers of labradorite, and that was just amazing. And I have definitely set it back in my mind as a dream for piece. If it's still there when I can do that. So it was great. I'm definitely having a thing with a lot of dark stones lately too. But yeah, so that was my labradorite. So those are some of my treasures, my recent treasures, and they're waiting for me to spend time with them and enjoy them, and I think they're actually probably enjoying their time out here in my little sacred garden spot that I've got in the back of my garden, where a fly has entered the picture probably. And I have let's see if I can bring this guy down a little bit, my very, very nice friend, the foxglove, who is now open with his little spots and speckles of purple inside. So excited about my flowers and my stones and the sunshine. Yay, Earth!